I'm Hannah from Workable Yoga, and in this short video I've prepared a lovely Yoga for Anxiety sequence. So if you're feeling a bit stressed or overwhelmed, or maybe you're finding that your mind's whirring, hopefully you can use this short yoga sequence of gentle poses to ease your mind and start to rebalance your nervous system, to switch your body into its natural relaxation response and hopefully start to calm yourself down. So you don't need any equipment for this practice, and I've deliberately designed it to be very gentle, and you don't even need to wear yoga clothes. You'll see that I'm not even wearing yoga clothes for this, so just wear something comfy. You could do this before bed in your pajamas, whatever really works for you. Whenever you're ready, we'll get started. So we're going to find a comfortable seated position. It could be cross-legged like I am, or you might want to stick your arms out straight in front. Anything that's going to enable you to get a lovely straight spine. Take a roll, inhale, breathe in, bring those shoulders up to the ears, and then exhale, just gently bring them back down, up, back and down. So see if you can create a little bit of extra space. Closing down the eyes softly if that's comfortable for you to do so, or you can leave your eyes open, so just leave them open a small amount and look at the floor beneath you. So it's a really soft gaze. And then starting to make your breath a little bit deeper. You might want to place a hand on the belly and just see if you can really breathe into your fingertips, seeing if you can make the breath a little bit lower down into the belly area. When we're anxious, often you find you're breathing up into the chest. See if you can gently start to lower that breath a little bit deeper, a little bit lower. Deep breaths, imagining that you're starting to fill the whole of your torso up. So breathing into your belly, filling up from there, filling up into your ribs, into your chest. And once you reach the very top of that inhale, when you can't inhale anymore, you're going to gently exhale, breathing out from the very top of the chest, from the ribs, and then the belly. And you can use these three parts to keep a little focus with your breath. As you breathe in each time, focusing on the belly, ribs, and chest, imagining the air is filling up in one fluid motion, filling all the way up to the top of your torso. And as you breathe out, again, imagining that you're breathing out from the very top of the chest, into the rib area, and then down finally into the belly area. Continuing to work through this a few more rounds, just to see if you can create this sense of grounding and settling, connecting with your breath. And if you're familiar with Ujjayi breath, you might like to add that in now. All it is making a small constriction of the throat. So it sounds like home with your throat. So it's like a wave-like sound, a little whisper sound to the breath. Otherwise, sticking with just the three-part breath as we were doing if that feels too much for you today. After your next exhale, just bringing your chin towards your chest and allowing yourself to feel a stretch down the back of the neck. Keep the eyes closed or with that soft gaze, if that's comfortable to do so. And we're going to gently start shifting the neck from side to side, so gently moving the nose up towards the right shoulder and then back down to center. Again, feel free to take a little peek at the video if you want to have a look. If you want to bring in your breath and movement, you're going to exhale back to center, inhale across to one side. So nice, looks like you're almost drawing a little semicircle, a little smile with your nose. We often carry a lot of tension in our neck and shoulders, so just starting to work into that area. One more on each side. And the next time you bring your neck across towards the right hand side, you're going to gently place the right hand just on top by the ear, perhaps just in front of the ear, applying a tiny amount of gentle pressure. So this isn't about cranking that neck, just a little bit of pressure until you start to feel a stretch down the left hand side of the neck. Breathe here. Releasing down, bring the chin back to the chest, and let's go across to the opposite side. Again, placing that hand just above or on the ear and applying a tiny little bit of pressure with the left hand this time. Feeling that stretch into the right hand side of the neck. Beautiful. One more breath. Beautiful. And then we're going to roll into an all fours position. So you're bringing your wrists underneath shoulders, your knees underneath hips. Just starting to work your way through a couple of cat-cows. So tilting the pelvis up, bringing the belly towards the mat. Shoulder blades come together and gaze slightly ahead of you, so just to the top of your mat, rather than throwing that neck back. Coming through to find your cow pose, tucking the pelvis underneath, bringing the belly towards the spine, feeling the shoulder blades separate, and bring the chin towards the chest into your cow. Working your way through these spinal rolls. Again, option to bring your breath and movement together here if you like. But you might choose to pause and stay in one for a few breaths if it feels good today. Beautiful. Let's bring the hands forward, tuck the toes under and push the bum up and back to find ourselves in a downward facing dog. So here we're really thinking about creating a straight spine, pressing evenly through the hands. So see if you can really bring your weight back. I see a lot of people often kind of pausing over, and if you're feeling a lot of weight in the wrists, see if you can shunt your bum up and back and really bend the knees to allow space for that. Fingertips are spread nice and wide. There's a tiny little bend in the elbows. And you can keep those knees bent. Option to have a little pedal through and just start to stretch out through the back of the legs. Bending one knee and straightening the opposite leg. Just starting to feel the stretch through the backs of the legs. What we're going to be doing is stretching some of these key muscle groups that are associated with tension to help you get this sense of physical relaxation. Beautiful. Let's bring the knees down to the ground now, and I'm going to invite you to take a child's pose. So for some of us with anxiety, child's pose actually isn't that comfortable, but child's pose is effectively, you can make yourself have a little bit of extra space, bring the knees wide, sink the bum back and bring the head down to the floor. But if it feels too much, like you're kind of folded in on yourself, a good alternative to this pose is simply sitting with the knees in and giving yourself a hug like this. So again, we're still stretching through the spine. We're kind of creating this ball-like position, but in a different way. So a good alternative. So again, see what feels good for you. We'll pause wherever we are just for a couple more breaths. And then gently rolling yourself up. And if you're in child's pose, staying, we're going to roll actually onto the floor now. So moving yourself across and bringing yourself onto your left hand side, bringing the elbow onto the floor just to provide a little bit of support, and bending the right knee. See if you can grab the top of the right foot. And we're just starting to create a stretch through the front of that right thigh, so the quad area. So you're working to start to bring your heel towards your bum. If you want to add a little bit of extra stretch here, so maybe you're relatively flexible, what you're going to do is engage through that right bum cheek, press the top of the right foot into the hand, really feel like you're engaging here, so you're getting an isometric stretch. So you're working a little bit harder just to feel that extra sensation. Pause here, one more breath. And gently release. You can just roll onto your front and come across to the opposite side, but for the purposes of showing you, I'm going to move across like this. So again, you're bringing your left foot on top, Bending at the knee, finding that foot, and starting to bring the heel towards the bum cheek till you feel the stretch down that right quad area. Option to add an extra bit of strength there by clenching or engaging that bum cheek and pressing the top of the foot into the hand. Breathing here. Couple more breaths. Use your core muscles to keep yourself stable, and use this front hand to keep your support. Beautiful, releasing down. And let's roll onto our backs now. So again, you can do this from bed. You don't need to necessarily be on a mat or anything like I am. You can honestly do this anywhere. But what you're going to do is bend through your left knee, place the sole of the foot on the floor, and then bring the right foot up to the sky. Press through the heel and bring your hands just around the back of that right leg so that you're feeling a gentle stretch. So we're basically engaging or stretching our key muscle groups, and through stretching these we can start to release a bit of physical tension in the body, which can hopefully start to ease the body a bit more into relaxation mode. So helping to calm and see if you can really, whenever we're holding these stretches and poses, see if you can come back to your breath. So those lovely deep belly breaths that we started the class with will really help settle the mind and hopefully keep you in this present moment rather than wandering off with wherever your thoughts are going. Let's bring the ankle, so the right ankle to the just above the left knee. Press that knee away so you start to feel an opening through the hips. This might be enough for you today, so you can stay here. Or if you'd like to increase the sensation of the stretch into the hip, you're going to lift the left leg up and off the floor and bring the hands behind the back of that left thigh. See if you can keep both sets of toes coming towards the shins, so in a flex foot position. So that will really help keep everything nice and engaged during this stretch, so that we're not collapsing into our joints. Couple more breaths, really breathing into any sensations or areas in the hips. Option to close down the eyes or find a soft gaze. Beautiful. Releasing the foot down, bring the right foot to join it, and then this time we're going to bring the left foot up to the sky again. See if you can bring the toes towards the shins. Press up into that heel and bring the hands around the back of that left thigh to really feel like you're supported in that stretch. Keep your upper body nice and relaxed on the floor below. So we don't want to be up here. We're just leaving the neck and shoulders relaxed on the earth. See if you can really ground through into your shoulder blades. Feel like the earth supporting you below as you're pressing up through that heel, and just breathing perhaps into the back of the leg where you're feeling the sensation. One more deep belly breath here. You're doing fantastic. And then bending through that leg, bringing the left ankle just above that right knee. Press away, so you're using those leg muscles. Press away into that left knee to create this opening through the hip. Option to stay here if that feels enough for you, or if you'd like to, you can bring the right foot up and off the floor. Bring the hands around the back of that right thigh and just feel this lovely stretch and opening into the hip area. We're stretching off these big muscle groups, really good for helping calm the body and find this sense of physical relaxation. Couple more deep belly breaths. Option to close down those eyes again or find a very soft gaze if you've not already. And then bringing that foot down onto the earth, bringing the opposite one down. What we're going to do now is come into a final pose, our bridge pose. So if you wanted to, you can always come into a restorative version of this by placing a brick or block. In fact, I'll just show you, just in case. You could put a cushion, for example, if you're in bed, just underneath your bum if you don't want to do any additional work, and you just allow this gentle opening. Doesn't exactly matter exactly where the legs are when you're doing the restorative version. You can just let yourself hang out, perhaps have the palms up, and just enjoy a really gentle back bend here. But if you want to join me without equipment and into the fuller version of the pose, you're going to bring your heels quite close to your bum. You don't want them like directly underneath. You need a little bit of space. So you might need to have a little play with where they are. You're keeping your feet in line with your shoulders, so often a little bit narrower than what you think. I don't want them really wider than hips, if we can. Bringing the hands either side, you're going to press into the hands, so you're starting to engage through the forearms, and then you're going to start to tilt up with your bum. So slight pelvic tilt, and then gently press through into your heels, lift the bum up and off the ground, and feel this stretch and opening through the front of the body. Press into the hands, the forearms, to help you get this height, and keep the knees tracking above the ankles. They want to splay out. It's quite hard work, I know, but you're doing a lovely stretch through the open body, really engaging through the back body here. Let's hold for 2 more breaths, really pressing into those heels, really engaging through the bum cheeks, keeping the breath going nice and fluidly, not holding it. On your next exhale, starting from the very top of your spine, you're going to gently roll yourself down, starting like you're almost rippling through the spine, vertebra by vertebra, eventually bringing the lower spine down to the ground, allowing yourself to truly relax. And just notice the sensation of softness, of heaviness, flowing through your spine there. Option to stay here for our relaxation. You can bring the feet a little bit wider than hips and bring the knees resting in towards one another, or you can stretch the feet out. Allow the the feet to rest out whatever way feels good. See if you can perhaps bring the palms slightly away from the body, facing up in traditional corpse pose, or you might want to turn the palms down for a little bit more of a grounding sensation for your relaxation today. Again, see if you can close down the eyes if that's comfortable for you, or find that very soft gaze. Maybe bring your chin a little bit further towards your chest to feel a little length through the spine. And just come back to those belly breaths once more. Nothing to do, nowhere to be. We are just allowing ourselves to be in our bodies. Allow yourself to feel this sense of heaviness, so that you're feeling like your body is softening into the earth beneath you. Using your exhale to really melt into the ground with every breath. And drawing your attention down to the heels, the calves, backs of the thighs, the bum, anywhere where the ground's in contact with the body, and see if you can melt a little bit further into those areas. Got that space in the lower back for the mid back and shoulders and the backs of the arms, the head and neck. Feeling this sense of support from the earth beneath you, this sense of safety. You are supported, you're safe here. And just take another couple of breaths, really seeing if you can use your exhale to see if you can release a little bit further into the ground with every breath. And you might want to see if you can make your exhale a little bit longer than your inhale. This has the effect of helping to calm our nervous system. So if you are feeling that little bit of anxiety or overwhelm today, focusing on that, making the exhale, the out breath a little bit longer than your in breath can possibly help you and give you a nice point of focus with your breath. When you're ready, gently start bringing some awareness back into the body. Perhaps rocking the head from side to side, just to feel a little gentle stretch into the neck. Maybe take a full body stretch, pointing the toes and really stretching those fingertips away, or bringing the knees into your chest and giving yourself a big hug, a little rock from side to side, maybe a roll, some little circles on the spine to give yourself a little massage. And when you're ready, we'll roll onto our favourite sides, finding ourselves in a lovely fetal position, just bringing ourselves gently back into the room. Before using your hands just to support yourself to come up to find a comfortable seated position. See if you can keep those eyes closed or with a very soft gaze. Bring your hands to your chest and just bow the head to the hands, thanking your body and your mind for taking this time, this break in your day to rest and reset. And I'd like to thank you very much for practicing with me. I hope you enjoyed that short practice. I hope it's helped to calm you and you're maybe feeling like a little bit more relaxed in both your body and your mind. If you wanted to do other practices to help, then you should definitely check out my yoga nidras and some of my other relaxation practices. They could also be very helpful for you. And make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel to get notified whenever there's a new video landing. Hope to see you soon.